This is the last act of the movie. Like this is the climax of the movie, and I heard it was going to be divisive, but I didn't know. Like it's pretty vile. Hi, I'm Wes,
This is Penny.
and we're going to talk about Alien Romulus, directed by Fede Alvarez. And it's about a group of young adults looking to get out of their latest stage capitalism planet and trying to make a life for themselves by hijacking a unmanned spacecraft orbiting the planet. Unfortunately, there's a bunch of fucking aliens and facehuggers on it. So, what did you think of Alien Romulus?
Hey, I enjoyed watching it. I mean, I wasn't like a huge.
Well, you recently watched Alien
Yes, I did.
for the anniversary.
Yes.
Okay. And how does this compare to that?
I'm to say like this time I like the older movie better. I like the original better.
Really? Okay.
I don't I don't know why, but the original feels more real to me. Like it's really happening. Like I don't know if it's the quality of the shots are I don't know why. Maybe you can explain, but it just it looks like it didn't happen.
Well, yeah, I mean, the original was, they were a lot older actors. They seem more grounded. They're like middle age, and I think that's reflective on the audience that go to theater at that time. And well, now you probably need a younger cast to get people to go to the theater, since that's the target demographic for people to go to the theater. Well, I would just say that I'm a huge fan of the first two Alien movies. I like Alien 3. I think Alien Resurrection's okay. Alien versus Predator movies I can do without. I have a contentious relationship with Prometheus and Alien Covenant, but I still lean towards liking them because I just like the franchise. I like the monster. I like everything about it. Like how fascinating it is. Like it looks biomechanical in a way, and
Like why do you prefer it compared to so many other like alien outer space
I
movies?
mean it's just the design, the the mysterious history behind it, even though Prometheus, well, really Scott with Prometheus, and but I've been obsessed with it since Aliens, and when I watched Aliens, I was just blown away by it when I was a kid, and it's still my second favorite movie of all time. I saw Aliens before I saw Alien, and I've grown an appreciation for Alien as an adult. What I really liked about it is the characters. I think it's a great callback to the first two movies. I'll just say this, like this is my most anticipated movie of the year. I've been following forever. It seems like they finished filming it like a year ago, and it's just now releasing, which is crazy to me. I've been wanting to see this forever. But I feel like the characters are actually very good. They all have their distinct personalities and motivations. I think the two main characters of Rain and Android, Andy the Android, and I thought they were terrific. They have the whole thing with, they're kind of like siblings in a way. She grew up with Andy. I think they explained that her father found him in like a junk pile, or he's just like a decommissioned android, and rebuilt him and became part of the family. And then Andy, he's kind of slow robot, where yeah, he's like a sad puppy most of the time.
Aw.
And yeah, they play on the android. If you don't know if you can trust him. Like in the first two Alien movies, you have Ian Holm who plays Ash. We'll get into that. And you got Bishop, who is kind of like sympathetic in the second one. He's kind of like back and forth, and you don't know to trust him completely. And I think he also plays really good on the sympathies. But what did you think of the characters?
I like most of the characters. I mean, they're all different, but I feel like okay, one of the reasons why like the original's better is that they're so professional. They're trying to be on the ship to finish this job. But now we have a bunch of like, younger adults. They don't even have a plan. They're just like, "Oh, we want the pods."
Well, I mean, they're stuck on this planet where it's just like mining until you get cancer and die, with no sunlight. Like it's like she's gonna be there for 5 more years, and it's just like the latest stage capitalism, and that's like a theme with the Alien franchise. This Weyland Yutani like owns everything, and everyone's kind of miserable. I think it also kind of plays on like how Gen Z is feeling about the current economy, which I kind of thought about, and like everyone seems like it's almost hopeless. You can't buy a house.
Yeah.
You're gonna work this dead end job until you die, and yeah, I think the movie works pretty well on like the social commentary of current times.
Okay. Okay, I mean this is like this goes later into the plot, which I'm sure we'll discuss later. But in terms of the actors, I think they're pretty good. They all have their distinct features,
Mm-hmm.
characteristics.
All likable enough, you know.
Yeah.
Except for that one dude who keeps fucking bullying up on Andy.
What's wrong with him? I don't know.
He's an asshole. Like,
And then what did he?
I mean, he has a reason for it in the movie, but yeah, I'm like, this guy's a fucking jerk. Like, I can't wait till I see him die.
I think they did a very good job picking the new Ripley girl.
Oh, Spaney, yeah, she was. I thought she was really good. The only thing I've seen her in was Civil War, which you haven't seen.
Yeah, I
But,
didn't see it.
it was she was really good in it too. But I was really impressed with her.
Look kind of fits this character. She just looks very natural and gives me a little. It makes that's how I feel when I see the actor who plays Ripley.
Yeah,
They just got that look. I don't know how to explain. They just look natural. They don't look like they got a ton of makeup on or they're fake.
they look like they live in the their actual real person, and
Yeah, the way she acts is pretty good as well. And to the end of the movie, almost kind of feel like her image and Ripley almost like overlap each other and kind of remind me of her.
yeah, they seem to always have when they don't have Sigourney Weaver, they always have a Ripley type character. But yeah, I thought she did a pretty good job. I thought there was a lot of great scenes in it. I like them sneaking through the face huggers when they had to heat up the room and
Yeah.
try to go unnoticed. Another one was it's in the trailer, but there's a scene where it's like anti-gravity and there's a bunch of acid blood surrounding them and they have to navigate through there. And I thought that was a great scene as well.
Yeah, there's one that, the robot, not the robot, the android was like close the door that he calculated how precise that is supposed to close, and the guy just like last millisecond just slide through the door.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of a rush seeing that.
Yeah, that was it plays upon the thing I mentioned earlier where you don't know if you should trust this android anymore because basically they're going to junk them once they get to once they escape. Well, they were trying to get gyropods so they can travel to a system that's not controlled by Weyland Yutani, which they would have to scrap him. But yeah, it kind of like throws the trust in there of this character, which he's very sympathetic, but also very cold in some scenes. But the actor, he was like fantastic as the android, along with Kaylee Spaney.
See him somewhere. Where did we see him together?
I can look him up real quick.
I don't know. I think what's memorable are his kind of like puffy eyes that just make me feel like I've seen this person.
They're sad eyes. Like that's why I say he's like a puppy dog. Like they're like kind of sad.
He looks sad all the
David
time.
Johnson.
Which give him kind of like a little bit human trait. And like I said, the scene where one of the guys, the guy that we did, like the asshole, the way he died was just absolutely golden, right?
Yeah,
Like
it's not a spoiler since most of these people are gonna die, but yeah, I understand.
yeah, the way he dies is just like boom. That's my favorite death in this movie. Yeah.
Another thing I liked is they explore some of the stuff like like they expand on the lore of the Alien franchise. So not a whole lot, but how there's Alien and it's a baby and then it's like a full grown adult and killing people. Aliens, it shows like, oh, this is their birthing process and they have a queen alien. in this one, it kind of shows the process in a way of how the alien goes from the little baby to the adult. And there's a whole scene about that, which leads to what you were just saying. And I kind of appreciate that with how they expand on the lore of, well, just like the process of how the alien is born, just showing these new little things. I feel that helps with sequels like this.
Yeah. It makes sense that you find it kind of fascinating to know how alien evolve because you kind of see them as like little like crickets at first. They're just tiny and just like going all over the place, and then there are really huge ones. Just kind of wonder how they turn from like a little bug into something so huge, and
Yeah.
does explain the process a little bit.
This movie reminded me, it's like a greatest hits of all the Aliens movies, which is kind of surprising to me. Well, there's Alien, where it has the claustrophobic feelings, and stuck on a spaceship with this one alien. There was a lot of references to aliens, and then they kind of get more into it, where there's a little bit more going on in the space station that you realize at first. What really surprised me is the connection to Prometheus. So I won't go into too much detail to it, but so what I didn't like about Prometheus and Alien Covenant, these are like the prequel movies that Ridley Scott made, the director of the original Alien, which kind of like it might have like ruined the lore a little bit. Like you love the mystery until you found out what the mystery is.
Oh, then don't tell me.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna tell you, but they kind of explain it away, like Prometheus, that it isn't like the creation of the actual xenomorph, the alien.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the actual creation of it. They kind of explain it away that way. So it kind of made me feel a little relieved for that. But it was neat how I appreciate that they included Prometheus and Alien Covenant lore into the story. Is there anything you didn't like about the movie?
Yeah. So I find the way of them getting into the ship pretty weird because it's just a bunch of it's a bunch of kids. Yeah, they are bored. They want to find things to do, but do they really have the access of driving a whole space
Well,
to connect with the oldest ancient spaceship? Like if these kids have spaceship, then a lot of other people will have spaceship. How come?
well, somehow they found out about it, and like I was saying, it was very loud. A lot of British dialogue. I might have missed something, but they had the ship. They had a pilot. They knew it was floating out there before anyone else, and they wanted to get on it and get the hell out of that system because it's just pure misery.
Okay. I'm not too crazy about. I mean, is this spoiler?
All right, let's just talk about spoilers because I want to get into stuff. I'll leave a timestamp for our final rating, but for now, for right now, a lot of the stuff I didn't like is going to be kind of spoilery too.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Oh, so we can't open the gate.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Too crazy about the alien baby. The alien baby turned into an
Yeah.
alien adult.
And that's what I was saying is like this is the greatest hits of all the Alien movies because there was like a similar thing in Alien Resurrection.
Oh,
It's like an alien human hybrid, but it doesn't look like that one.
it should not look like this one.
This is the last act of the movie. Like this is the climax of the movie, and I heard it was going to be divisive, but I didn't know. Like it's it's pretty fucking vile actually. Like
Up,
the last act.
up until the part where you see the baby face in the little
Yeah.
pocket, I was intrigued, right? Because you don't know what's gonna happen from that point, and you actually find the idea of alien turn from bugs or like really alien looking object like they have some of their blood in this baby, and you definitely want to find out what's going on. And I guess it's just like, hey, the way it turned out was not as interesting, or it didn't satisfy my curiosity, or it just, I feel like it could have been something different or something, that can leave a little bit more to the next movie if there's gonna be one. But the way this baby just popped up into a large,
Well, I mean, the alien does that too.
so it's just a little bit disappointed. Do you think the way they make this human baby turn into, what we saw in the theater, a full body alien human, do you think that was tried to bring back the idea of the engineer was trying to
No,
overlap?
it's just like she was just trying to survive, injecting her with that, and the baby came out looking like being this fucking deformed engineer alien hybrid, and that's just like a callback to Prometheus.
Yeah,
And
that's what I was trying to say.
I think it's just a callback to those and a callback to Alien Resurrection. Like I said, there's an alien human hybrid in it, but it's like way more fucked up looking than that. Like,
Okay, I'm gonna need a picture of that. But I can't really get into the look of this like final
hmm,
alien adult. I think something is wrong. Something
wrong.
something is wrong with the way he looks.
I'll talk about some of my complaints about the movie. And this is kind of spoilery, so I'm just keeping the spoiler section. But Ian Holm as Ash from the original movie, he plays another android in this called Rook. And he's basically the main villain of the movie. It's CGI Ian Holm. And it's so weird and off putting that I don't even know what they were thinking. Like, I went into this movie hoping there wasn't like any member berries, and man, they had a little too many. So they recover like a damaged android who is looks like Ash. It's Ian Holm, CGI Ian Holm. There were some really bad shots of him, and it's like it looked like deep fake shit on the internet. But there's some scenes that look pretty good. But I mean, they could have just had him a little bit in it. They had him a whole lot. Like he's like the main villain. He's like the main reason that Andy, the other android, is sort of like evil a little bit because they put a chip in his head and his prime directive is for the company to save this alien.
I think they were thinking, hey, if we put this character on here, that a lot of our like old fans of Aliens are gonna recognize and be like, hey, that is from the original movies. But for me, if I were someone who's never seen it, it kind of just doesn't do anything for me. It's like that's so random. They find half a body in a ship, and like somehow this half of a body just explained everything and turns out to know everything. It's just kind of like very intentional. Like it didn't do it. It's kind of odd if you never know this character, but I think for someone who knows that character,
Yeah.
I feel like it was.
I
Was a
think
bit
people
too
see
much.
Alien Romulus have probably seen all the Alien movies, but it seems like a Disney thing too, because they just bring back these CGI fucking dead characters. Stop. Fucking stop it.
In Star Wars, we were kind of like making fun of them, like bring back the old, what is it, Luke's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And it's like
making fun of
cast
that too.
a different actor. Also, as like member berries, it's like they had so many lines that were derived from past movies, like him saying "Stay, get away from her, you bitch," the android, and this is like before. This takes place before Aliens, and she says that in Aliens. So it says it in
Okay.
here. Ash, she says, "You have my sympathies," is the same quote from Alien, which it's not as effective in this. Like, but you have my sympathies. You know how she's trying to like talk. She hooks him up in the first movie and is like, "How do we kill this thing?" It's like it's a perfect organism. It's a perfect killing machine.
Yeah.
It's like blah 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 blah. But you have my sympathies, and then she just fucking hits his head and sets him on fire. Yeah, I'm like, it's good, and it's like the greatest hits of the Alien franchise, but it's also bad because it's got so many of these forced callbacks. And just give me your general thoughts and your final rating.
Okay. General thoughts.
No spoilers, please.
No spoilers.
Okay.
So I think this is a pretty fun sci-fi movie to watch.
Did you find it scary?
I think so. A couple parts where I'm like holding her hand, I'm like, oh, they made it, or like, hey, they didn't make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's what I meant by fun. So you get these like rush and thrilling feelings from a lot of the parts, which I think there were at least maybe half of the movie that kind of like kept me engaged and making getting me excited for the next thing that's gonna happen. So I think that was good enough for what I was expecting for this movie. As someone who is not crazy or a huge fan about the Alien franchise. I just come in from the perspective of a regular audience, a regular viewer. I think this movie is definitely like worth checking out, but there are parts that I wasn't crazy about or I feel like kind of let down or find it kind of weird. Obviously, I didn't get to make sense of a lot of the references that it was intentionally made to the originals. It might not be a bad thing, but in general, I this movie fine. Like, big franchise where people are so like thrilled to see a new one coming out after so many years, and yeah, I did enjoy eating popcorn from this bucket. I I want to say it's either a high 3.5 or a low 4.0 for me. Yeah, but definitely
So what is it? 3.5 or 4.0?
it's a high 3.5.
Okay, high 3.5. Okay. I liked it. I liked it a lot. The sound design is awesome. The direction was awesome. I love Fede Alvarez. He did, you haven't seen Evil Dead 2013. You saw it Rise, but he made one like 11 years ago. It's fucking brutal. Like it's, but you need to see it sometime. And he made Don't Breathe, which is another really good thriller. He did a fantastic job with this. It just feels seamless with the first two movies, and I was so intrigued by this story taking place on this spaceship or the space station that is like basically a laboratory trying to create more xenomorphs and facehuggers and stuff. It fails in a ways that I was hoping it wasn't going to have member berries, like lines from the movie, characters from past movies, and CGI. It's just disappointing, but
If they bring back a completely new movie from like I don't know 20 years ago, you should always expect that there's gonna be a lot of
there
memories.
shouldn't be. There doesn't have to be. They do that a lot.
It doesn't have to be, but they
Probably
always
is the-
always do.
It's probably a Disney thing, honestly. But I really like the movie. I'm just a huge Alien fan. I wish I liked it more. The last act is kind of mixed on. I still like processing it. But this is like basically a greatest hits of all the Alien movies, like all of them. I'm not talking about just the first three. I'm talking about, well, maybe not Alien versus Predator, but like Prometheus, everything is included in this. So I thought that was kind of cool. Just, but it kind of makes me wonder where the Alien franchise is going movie wise. I think it's totally worth seeing in a theater. The great sound design we saw in Dolby. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully more movies like this. I want them to explore like different stories this way. Just you don't have to have constant connections and callbacks to the movies. And it seemed like they did kind of take a little bit of ideas from like books and graphic novels, but there's so many different ideas you can do, and I'm wondering if they'll take that chance to do that with this franchise. I mean, it's Disney, but I think it is very good. I would probably rank this below Aliens, between Aliens and Alien 3 as my favorite in the franchise. But that's our review of Alien Romulus. If you like this review, check out more. Like, subscribe, hit that like button, hit that bell icon, and we'll see you next time. Bye.